first things first, we got to get that spot Bitcoin ETF today. And then you know what's going to happen afterwards. We're going to get other ETFs. Okay. So Valkyrie's fund chief investment officer thinks that XRP ETFs will be coming, and Ethereum spot ETFs will certainly be coming. The applications have been already turned in for spot Ethereum ETFs. So that may be the reason why Ethereum and some of the Ethereum-based coins, like I noticed Lido and Rocket Pool yesterday, were skyrocketing. Ethereum itself isn't doing bad either. It's up about 6%. It's finally moving. And it could be because there's enthusiasm over Ethereum spot ETFs coming right afterwards, after heels of a Bitcoin spot ETF, okay? And after that, on the heels of that, XRP ETFs. These are the three that SEC recognizes are not securities. So it makes sense. If they're not securities, then you could come out with some ETFs, right? So yeah, that's probably the reason why. People are looking forward to see what's next. And that, my friends, could be this year too. Having spot Ethereum ETFs. I don't know if we're going to get spot XRP ETFs this year, but I think Ethereum ETFs, we could see that towards the end of the year. Like maybe November timeframe. We could certainly see that. Maybe even come sooner. Maybe Gary resigns and the next SEC commissioner or chair is really bullish on crypto. I doubt it, but who knows? Okay, so that's coming next. SEC delays Grayscale Ethereum ETF, confirms receipt of BlackRock ETH fund. So BlackRock wants to get involved. Grayscale is trying to convert their Ethereum trust into ETF, right? But yeah, it's definitely coming. And remember, if BlackRock wants something, they usually get it. Larry Fink, I'm sure he has Gary on speed dial. They're talking more, and it's probably a done deal. Yeah, I just talked about this. And like I said, like liquid staking providers like Lido, Rocket Pool, and others, they're all skyrocketing right now. And Lido itself, they're growing by leaps and bounds. If you look at the number of ETH stakes, it's just skyrocketing. That's why they're doing so well. People rather liquid stake than actually natively stake. And here's why. If you natively stake an ETH, you have to first of all have 32 ETH, right? And it's locked in and you can't do anything. With liquid staking like Lido, you get a synthetic ETH and you don't have to stake 32 ETH. You can just stake something small like 5 ETH if you wanted to, or 1 ETH. And you get a synthetic version of it and you could go do something with that, right? So that's why liquid staking is so popular and it keeps on going up. From a TA perspective, I mean, if you look at what happened in 2020, those of you guys that were around back then, you remember 2021. Yes, I think most people remember 2021 because that's the year after the last halving event. That's what 2025 will be, okay? We're going to get another 2021 and 2025, and it's going to be crazy because of the amount of money that's in the space. But 2020 was a really hot year. 2020, after that COVID crash where Bitcoin fell down to $4,000, below 4,000, we had a huge recovery afterwards. Okay, now some of it is due to macro because government started printing trillions of dollars and doing a lot of shenanigans. But Bitcoin had a huge recovery year. Okay, and that's this year, 2024. We had a huge recovery year already in 2023. At least the last 3 months. The first 9 months was okay, but the last 3 months it got really hot, right? But now we're in 2024. So this candlestick in 2024 can surpass even the candlestick in 2020, and we could see that huge recovery because of everything that's happening. Okay, even if you discounted everything, it is still the halving year. We're supposed to be going up in a major way, but because we have catalysts like SPY ETFs and like rate cuts and presidential election, on top of that, the halving event, right? And X is coming out, the payment platform, and we have other spot ETFs coming. I mean, there's so many catalysts. It's going to drive this past the edges of this page. I really think we could be at all-time high by mid-year. like around June, July, I could really see Bitcoin being at 70,000 already. And then we slow down to the end of the year at 100,000. I honestly think that's not unreasonable, especially seeing where we are right now. We're like right at the cusp of 50,000. Okay, so from 50,000 to 70,000 in 6 months is definitely not unreasonable. And of course, what about after 2024, 2025, right? If we end the year at 100,000, where will we be at the end of 2025? Well, if you're looking at previous history, we went up 40x and then a 10x. So this time, what? I don't know. A 7x, a 6x, a 5x. I mean, even a 5x from our current level would be above 250,000. So it's not like we're not going to get a 40x from here. Okay, but even if we did a 5x from here, we're still above 250,000. I mean, who's going to be complaining about 250,000 Bitcoin? No one will be complaining, okay? When Bitcoin is at 250,000, ETH will be at like 30,000 and Solana will be at like 5,000 and who knows where else, where everything else will be. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be absolutely crazy by the end of 2025. We got massive inflows of stable coins. People are getting ready for this, okay? Even though we did down a little bit, people are definitely getting ready for this. Not only retail, but those whales, those ones with massive amount of money and the institutions, they're all waiting for this to happen. And once it happens, we will clearly get back to our previous high. Maybe not right away, but we will. I believe we have a really, really good shot this year, especially after the halving event and the rate cuts and everything else that's happening by mid-year. I really think we could be back at previous high, about 69,000, 70,000 by mid-year, not even at the end of the year. I think we have a really good shot of getting back to our previous high by mid-year and end the year at $100,000, 6 figures. And then next year, that's when it goes crazy. We go from 100,000, according to this, we go to 500,000 by the end of 2024. I don't know. I think we're going to go higher than 100,000, 150, 200, 250, whatever it may be. We're going to go a lot higher in 2025. And everything's going to go higher in 2025, right? But this year is going to be phenomenal too. I see Bitcoin having a really good year. I see the alts doing 5, 10, 15x this year alone.